Hello, this is Megan Horneman, the Chief Investment Officer for Verdence Capital Advisors, coming to you with Markets with Megan. What we're going to do is give a little bit of an update on what we're seeing thus far for second quarter earnings season, and then a preview of the companies that are coming out this coming week. So last week, we concluded the second week of earnings season. The S&P 500 earnings are still expected to decline by the most that we've seen since the pandemic. But earnings season's been mixed. We've had some better reports, some especially in the financial side, the big financials, but we have about 60% of the companies that are beating their earnings per share estimate. We only have roughly 90 of the 500 companies that have reported thus far. The bulk of it's going to be this coming week. But here's the key takeaways that we've seen out of the financials and a couple of the tech and discretionary names. First of all, there is still concern about the consumer. The consumer is not as solid as some of the headline and economic data shows. We're seeing that with some of the big banks and credit card companies increasing loan loss reserves for consumer credit. And we're actually seeing them taking losses already for delinquent credit cards. From a business perspective, the big banks are increasing their loan loss provisions, meaning that they're expecting more companies to default. The banks, the small and mid-cap banks, we got some information out of them, and we're seeing that they're going to struggle for a while with an increase in regulations, and now they're trying to repair their balance sheets. So there's no room for error there from a small and mid-cap banking perspective. And then lastly, we've seen margins are still a concern. We saw that with some of the companies that have reported this far. So those are the four key takeaways we've gotten just out of what we've seen so far with earnings season. This week is by far the biggest week. We get about 150 companies in the S&P 500 report earnings. It's about 40% of the market cap, and they're the big names that could potentially be market moving. Microsoft, Alphabet, Meta, Visa, and even in energy, some of the energy companies with Exxon. So keep your eye out this week. There'll be a lot of market moving events. We'll be back to give you some more updates around what we see from earnings season. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to podcast@verdence.com. Thanks.